News, my lovely, wonderful people. Not be smarty dot they happen. So NLC, that is Nigerian Labour Congress, they don't plan or not be threat to an indefinite strike. Now be say the strike will start, you know, go get date where the strike will end. And they've given 1 week ultimatum for Tinubu to respond. And the problem is say they don't tell Tinubu say we say if you not respond after 1 week. If they ask me, say, Madam, wait till come they won't strike again now. I'll tell you. Now the fuel, the situation of the fuel. They say make the fuel matter come down. They say make the fuel matter, make the price come down. Say people they suffer. Say we no fit wait for Tinubu. You know what APC talk? APC say make people calm down. They should tighten the belt and they should manage. He say because things not go just happen like that. So anybody when he wants something, they say every house whether they dig the ground to build the foundation, you know they did palatable. Say the foundation work, the work is involved in building and digging up a foundation. Say so the people should not take it as though Tinubu has failed, that there's no failure in the whole matter. We say really, they say yes. So now so we deal with the look the whole matter. Anyway, my lovely, wonderful people, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Let's get all the details. NLC threatens indefinite strike, gives 1 week ultimatum to Tinubu. The union stated that the proposed strike was necessary due to the failure of the federal government to supply palliative to majority of those in hardship, Nigerians who are going through a lot. The Nigerian Labour Congress has threatened to embark on an indefinite strike with no start date and no date for the completion. This is coming just a week after the end of its 2 days nationwide warning strike. Organized Labour made the announcement on Tuesday, September the 12th, 2023. It threatens to embark on an indefinite strike if the federal government fails to meet its demand at the end of a 21 days ultimatum, which will expire in barely 1 week. The union stated that the proposed strike was necessary due to the failure of Tinubu's government to supply palliative and to discuss with them and reach an agreement. The removal of the fuel subsidy is biting hard. Everything has gone up because there is a ripple effect. If the price of fuel, if you cannot buy a liter of petrol, what would be the price of transportation? Invariably, it all spirals down. The Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, discussed that the industrial action, which may commence any day from next week and would lead to an indefinite shutdown of commercial and economic activities across the country, is imminent. The National Association has decreed that it will begin next week and nothing will stop it. The Assistant Secretary General to the NLC, Christopher Onyeka, said the federal government was wrong to share a bag of rice to a dozen citizens while reportedly giving 150 million naira each to a member of the National Assembly. So if, for instance, at the National Assembly, they'll say, Apple Media, only you, 150 million. If, say, Bola, you, one member representing Nasarawa community, 150 million. Chukundi, 150 million. Chikoze, 150 million. Kazim, 150 million. Then the whole community of Birchi go share 500,000 naira. Let's continue. If the government fails to provide the appropriate response to our demand, we encourage you to maintain your steadfast resolve, the same passion and determination that fueled the president to remove fuel subsidy without appropriate consultation to plunge the nation into what it is today will be the same passion with which we will fight these things back. The NLC has mobilized workers for a 2 days warning strike on September 5th and 6th, 2023, which grounded the social and economic activity and said that was a warning strike. It said what will happen from next week will be an indefinite one unless the federal government come up with things to sort out the people. Understandably, the federal government now is led by Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. and it's really causing a lot of disruption, because Tinubu is gallivanting all over the world, leaving the very prominence of governance, going and doing administration to other nations of the world, and leaving his people to go through the whole system and the whole place struggling, if you want to put it that way. So these are some of the things happening. Every single one of us can see that Nigeria do need this change, and we must all come together and ensure that this change become a reality. If we want Nigeria to change and we want things to be better, there is urgent need for every single person to rise up and to ensure that we do everything, humanly speaking, possible. Remember, if we do all and we put things right in place, the nation will look good for us. But if we decide, okay, to put things, without consideration and just do things anyhow, it will affect us all. So these are some of the things that are going on, and why every one of us must pay attention and ensure that, our effort is not, pushed aside because some people feel that they are entitled. That entitlement mentality. Yeah. Yeah, we cannot allow it to thrive. Yes. And that's why politicians feel that they know what we want. We don't know what we want. Even when we vote who we want, they say, no, that's not who you want. So it's more like, that father who is very wealthy and feels that the son does not know what he wants because he's wealthy, feels the son does not have a dream. It can never be anything, That's assumption theory, So that's what they do to us. And so we all must begin to rise up and ensure that we do all that is necessary and needed to save this nation from the current predicament. Wake up, my people. It's the dawn of a new day. Okay? Nigeria must become better, and we must get all that we need to get. Okay? We just need to ensure that we put Nigeria back on track so that this nation can be saved. Okay? And everybody can move on. This is what is happening right now. This is what is going on. And if there is any time in the history